Okay, so now I want to show you how to move around queue list in the hog and how to edit these and make them work for you a little better. Let's say, so I got these, if you watched the last video, I created these three queue lists. Well, what if I want to go to queue, I'm in queue 2. Let's say if I had, 1,000 of these queues and I want to go to a specific queue. There's a great way to do this in the hog. You just hit go to queue, select your queue. Say if I want to hit 1, enter, and I'll go to, it'll fade into Q1. Or it'll basically run the speed that you set it to, so I can even set it to 1, or I'll set that to 1 as well. So we'll go a little quicker. Let's say if I'm at Q1, I want to go to Q3. Now you'll watch it hop to it in 1 second. Should. Let's try that again. Go to Q3, enter. I might have hit something. You probably saw it in the video. So you saw that switch over in 1 second. You can mess with the fade times all day long if you want. Now when it hits the bottom of the queue list, all you have to do is hit play and it'll start all over on the queue list. Basically it'll go through all three all day long. And I'm going to actually run this on my controller so you can see it. There's, where am I at? I'm running to Q1, playing Q5, which is going to take 5 seconds. And Q3, there we go. And remember, highest takes priority? Well, even though I told that front light to be at 0, just a reminder, I can say, forget that. I want this fader that's highest take priority to override that 0%. Anyway, yeah, just another reminder about that. So, what if I say, gosh, I want to add that front light back to Q3. I'm on Q3 right now, just as a reminder. Gosh, how do I add that back? Pretty simple, actually. I can just select the fixtures 24 through 26, enter, and hit highlight just to show you that I really did select them. Yep, they're there. And I could say, shoot, let's do at 75%. And bam, there they are. Well, I want to add that to Q3. Well, how do I do that? The way I personally do it is I hit record, queue, select the queue number, and hit 3. And you'll notice a pop-up window pops up after it thinks for about a half a second. And I'll say, well, I don't want to replace the queue with that, because if I hit replace, it's going to remove everything and just replace it with what's in the side of the programmer. I can hit merge, so it's going to blend them together, or you can hit insert. Well, the value is at 0%, so inside of Q3, I'm just switching it to 75%, so I want to hit merge and hit the clear button just to prove it. And you notice that time I'm on Q3, and that time when I hit the clear button, it didn't do anything because the values inside the programmer and inside of the original Q3 are all the same. So in instances like that, when you're updating, once you save your update, once you hit clear, you should see no changes. If you see a change, that means something went wrong, and you want to go back and do that again. All right. What's the next thing? Oh, I said go to how to move around queues. Remember that open button that I showed you earlier? So I'm going to hold down this open button, and I'm going to, let's say I want to edit Q3. This is really kind of a cool idea. Let's say, well, what if I wanted that 50% from earlier to just show up? And I want to knock out the 75%. I want to remove it from the queue completely. Well, as you see here, these are highlighted already, but typically I would actually type in literally into my control board 24 through 26. I probably didn't describe that very well. Let's say I want to knock out 24 through 26, so we'll remove it from the queue list. That's what I'm trying to get at. So I highlighted them, I pressed enter, and I'm going to hit this button knockout. Removed it completely from the queue. As you notice, if I look at the stage, nothing happened. And you're probably thinking, what happened? Well, that's because I'm in blind mode. And what blind mode means is that, you see it's highlighted in blue, I'm going to unclick that. That means is that every value that I've changed, as I change values within inside that queue list, or even inside the programmer, it's going to just actually run what I'm currently doing. So I want to actually unselect blind, and it should show, yeah, it does show it's back to 50%. As I hit close, say, do you want to say update these changes, or do you want to discard? I want to say update. I will actually talk a little bit more in depth with blind mode, probably the next video, because that is a useful tactic to understand. Okay, so you can actually add you can change these queue numbers if you want. Let's say if I want to change that to 4, that's another way you can play around with this. What if, let's see, yeah, what if I want to add, since I moved it to 4, I want to add a Q3. Let's see, so we have barely any light. Let's say if I want the front light to go to 100%. So 24 through 26, select those fixtures at full. And they should be at 100%. Does it? Yeah, sorry, this angle, this monitor is a little weird. And I can record that specific queue number, record Q3. Enter. And as you notice, that queue popped up. I'm just going to create a blank queue really quick. I just hit record Q5 really quickly. What if I want to delete a queue? Really important. That's really important to know. I can hit. All I have to do is type. Let's say I want to delete Q5. I just hit Q5 delete, and you'll see it think for a second. It's like, are you sure you want to delete this? Yes. So this is actually what it looked like. I'm going to hit record Q enter. There's 5. It's back. It's blank. There's nothing in there. So all I did was hit Q5 delete, and it thought, and that window popped up. Hit OK, and now it's magically gone. Okay, you can do the same thing. This is easier with the board. If you have your keyboard, I think it's the delete button, the D button. You can actually delete masters. So let's see how much time I have left in the video. 7 minutes. So I can delete this master. I hold the delete button on my controller and select that, and the master is completely gone. I did not delete the queue list though. If I double click list, if I open that, you'll notice, I'm going to close this out again. So when I double clicked it, you'll notice this queue list directory popped up. Hey, there's my first queue list and my second queue list. The guard button, unclick it. The guard button is basically saying no matter what happens, do not make any changes. But I may want to make changes, may not. And I can actually, if I wanted to, I could play the queues by selecting this, and there's some power behind that to actually do some shows on the flies. Keep this in mind if you're ever out of masters. It could help you out as well. There's ways to, if you look in the manual, I'm not going to get too far into it, but if you look in the manual, there's ways to run this virtually. I could even hit, if I want, I could type list 2 on my keyboard, list 2 Q1 enter. It should run, I think. Maybe it won't. I've never really messed with it, but I believe you can do stuff like that. Now, let's say if I want to move this back to my master, or if I want to move it to master 10, I can just select list, and I think I can just, no, I can't do it. I haven't done this very often. List 2 10. Let's see. I know there's a way to get it back. I'd probably have to check the manual again. I know this video is already getting derailed by the fact that I don't do this enough to really know what I'm doing, it seems like. But I've done this before, I swear. So there's list 2. I'd seriously have to check the manual. Maybe I'll make it up in the next video. List 2. No, that's not it. List 2. 10, or maybe it's the master 10. Nope. I know you can't click and drag it. I know that. That's not one way of doing it. Oh, wait a minute. List 2 move. Oops, I hit merge. Crap. I'm going to hit clear that out. List 2 move. That was the thing I was missing. I want to move it to here. That's what I wanted to do. You can actually select I'm an idiot. Sorry about that. You can actually select it and hit move to here. If I believe correctly, list 2 move here. Oh, you get the idea. Alright, I gotta end this video before it hits 10 minutes.